Good morning, everybody, from a beautiful boardwalk. I think I have to wipe my lens. Crap. Yeah, it's better. Ooh, it is a bit chilly here this morning for Florida. Of course, I don't want to, talk about anybody up there in the Northeast or in the North, like old Circus Bear there in Michigan. So I'm sure it is even colder in the single digits or in the negatives. I know we got friends up in Maine, and it's been, I think, like in the negatives like all week. Whew. So, welcome back. Not going to guarantee that these will be every week, but, we're going to get started rolling again. Try to hit the resorts, different resorts again. So we've got some friends staying here at the boardwalk, and which means that I can kind of come in and park with no issues, because I say I'm visiting them, even though, we're going to meet up at Disney Springs later, and we saw them on Thursday at Festival of the Arts, which we'll have a video coming out from that here soon. So, and I know it's stationary right now, but I'm just like kind of trying to heat up my body a little bit before we start just gun-ho running. Don't want to pull a hammy. I have worn the worst possible shorts today. So, I'll tell you what, I almost did not get out of bed, because I hate to say it, I don't like to be the person who's complaining about 50 degrees, but boy, oh boy, I almost didn't make it. So, ooh. All right, let's see how we can, let's see how this goes today. Better start my watch. I don't want another marathon weekend debacle. All right. Yeah, so welcome back, everybody. So had a little bit of coffee, did not have a full cup of coffee. Welcome back. This is the Boardwalk Resort. If for some reason this is your first time tuning into one of these live streams, this is, I don't know, something I've done off and on for like the last couple years. Have been these early morning runs on Saturdays around the Disney resorts. I actually would love to be able to do one kind of like over at Universal, but there just isn't as much area to run over at Universal like there is here, so makes it a little difficult. But beautiful, I think it's a full moon rise this morning I saw on the way out, which was cool. Oh my gosh, wait a second, I think I'm going the wrong way. Where am I going, guys? What is going on? We're gonna run this way. Got to run the same route as the marathon. My oh my! I don't know what the heck I was thinking. See, it's been that long. I'm running the opposite direction. I don't like to do that. Sounds like some of the boards in the boardwalk are a little loose. Circus Bear, I hope you guys had a good trip. We just missed you guys. We, if you don't know, we just came off of Oasis of the Seas last week. And trip with my family and some of our friends from previous group cruises, which was a lot of fun, as always. And currently working on some Disney fantasy content I think some people will be glad to hear that there is, I think, 2 dining reviews coming from that, which I think is Rummy Brunch and maybe a Palo dinner, I want to say. Oh, there's that. Look at that. There's that construction. ESPN is almost no more. It kind of stinks, but Cake Bake Shop restaurant coming soon. A little bit of a uphill climb here. So hopefully everybody's having a good start to their new year. It's hard to believe that it's freaking February already. I mean, my goodness, where does the time go? You know, it is just unreal. Richard, is the 51-degree weather good for your run? I think it's good for many people. I'm more of like a 60s, 70, 71 myself. I hate the feeling of being chilly or cold outside. I don't mind it at home because I can just put on a pair of sweatpants or a sweatshirt or something like that. But when I'm out here running, it's just so hard to feel like you're really starting to warm up, you know? So, but it is, it's a beautiful day, as you guys can see. I mean, hopefully you can see. No clouds. Temperature's nice. All this week, if you are planning to be here in Florida, is a really great week. It's supposed to be in the low 70s, which means you can kind of walk around the parks and not sweat to death. Racer Fan New York. Coast to Coast Challenge in 2024. Try World Challenge in 2024. I'm waiting to get the confirmation on that, which would be pretty cool. So I don't think I'll be able to get like a specific bib for it, but great possibility I may end up doing all 3 big events: Paris, Disneyland, and Walt Disney World in 2024. So we'll see what happens. I think Disneyland is like a couple weeks after Disney World's marathon, so timing might be a little tough for us. Might be one where like I might have to go out all by myself, but we'll see when we get around to it. So, and all that will be with Dragon Master Foundation, which is really cool. So we, again, if you guys are new, weren't watching during marathon, I don't know if Val's in the chat, who set me up for next year, and then backed out after the race was done. But I'll be wearing dresses or dressing up for all of the events next year for Dopey. And because we did so well this past year raising money, and I'd like to say that we've done a pretty decent job in the years past for Dragon Master Foundation. Assuming that we get all the bibs that we're told that we're going to get, I've been given the opportunity to do Disneyland and Disneyland Paris. So we'll see if that actually happens. And man, that would be awesome if it does. So, Caitlin, good morning. Hopefully you guys are staying warm in the negative digits up there. But still by far my favorite place to just be, walk around, run in the mornings. Really, really nice. Beach Club is your home resort. Love it over here. Absolutely. It's tough to beat, especially with the pool. You know, it's so much different than what all the other pools have. So that sand bottom and the it's like a deep, like lazy river over there. It's like 6 or 7 feet deep. All right. Coming up to our first slope. What do I always say? Power through. Power through, power through, power through. Whew. Watch out for those balloon ladies. Oh my goodness. Oh, those balloon ladies, I'll tell you what, that was so strange. I mean, again, to be one of the first and hopefully only times that I'll ever see them that close again. Not that it really bothered me, but you know, it is a little bone chilling when you see those balloons coming up behind you. I still feel bad for Bryson. That Chris and I left him behind, you know. But, yeah, you know, Dopey this year coming up, 2024, I think is going to be pretty exciting. So, if anybody's looking to run, I am looking for partners. The one partner I thought I'd have, which was Val, like I said, is kind of backed out because they're doing a cruise. But I'll need somebody to tag along and probably help me live stream so everybody can see my costumes. And on top of that, if you guys know anybody who does kind of athletic clothing design, I think there's something about somebody called Crowned Athletic. We're going to reach out to them. But, you know, for the full marathon, won't be much of a costume, I would say. It's going to be more of running attire, specifically geared towards women, that I'll be wearing. So like a skirt probably or something like that. And my goodness, if I lost enough weight, maybe I'd wear like a crop top or something. I don't know. I'm just like pulling crazy ideas out of my head at this point, but whew. Nice to have this little extra piece of the track that I would call it, our running path, back open. They've completed the refurbishments here on the outside of the buildings. Cat, good morning. Richard, a kilt. I feel like I might be doing everybody a disservice if I wear a kilt. I am going to wear a kilt one day, which we're thinking might be the 5K, and I don't want to spill too many beans of what our ideas are. But I will probably wear a kilt at least one day, but it probably won't be for marathon. Marathon's going to be minimal. I don't want to say minimal clothing. That's not what I want to say, but will be minimal as far as like costuming goes. So that's why I was saying there's a company called Crown Athletics, and they do, I think, a lot of stuff for women, obviously. So I'm sure I could get a large enough size that would fit me, but we'll see. But it is certainly a beautiful morning out today. So no more runs for me this year as far as official Run Disney events go. It's unfortunate. A lot of charities this year that had a record numbered. Wow, I wish I could speak. Had a record number of donations that did not get met. So meaning that people signed up to do it and never raised the amount of money that they were supposed to raise, which is really unfortunate because, all of the charities, they don't get those bibs for free. Disney actually makes them pay for every bib that they want. So, when somebody signs up to do it and they don't raise the money, they're shorting the charity. And granted, I would make the argument that maybe Disney could maybe cut the cost in half for the charities or just donate them. That would make more sense to me. But so I wouldn't be surprised that if this year for 2024 race events, obviously not 2023, because basically all of those are already in the books as far as sales go for bibs. But for 2024, I wouldn't be surprised if you start to see a lot of charities kind of changing how they handle that stuff. I know a few of them actually hold your debit card. They don't hold it, but they put it in the system. And if you don't raise the full amount that you're supposed to raise by a certain time, they'll just charge your card. That way they're guaranteed to get what they're supposed to get. So, and I actually kind of like that idea. I think that's actually kind of smart. It really puts people on the hook. So we are making our way out to Hollywood Studios. Another favorite spot of mine is to kind of make the run through here along the water, calm and peaceful when you don't have a loudmouth like me talking the whole time, but nonetheless. Do, 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 do. Oh boy. Yeah, going back to Marathon, and I think Racer Fan, you were there during the stream. I think Kat was there, some others. You know, we did a great job. I didn't do it. Y'all did it. We were watching the live stream. We raised over $5,000 basically in about 6 hours, which was just unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. And I still have a hard time even believing it now. So really, really great. And another reason why hopefully I'll get a bib for Disneyland Paris, but we'll see. Danielle, good morning. Kaylin, so fun watching. Amazing. Thank you. It was. It is, you know, it was actually the first marathon, I think, because I was in complete control of myself, having done so many events over the last couple of years. I think I was just really well prepared mentally. So I really knew how hard I needed to push myself at the beginning, and then what I needed to maintain throughout the race. And it actually, you know, after the race that week, I mean, I went right back to the gym. So I was like almost not sore at all. I mean, I was a little sore on Monday, but I went right back at it, and it was really, really nice. So, you know, I didn't train as much as I should have. I'll fess up to that, but sometimes experience really does help as far as knowing how far you can push your body in some of those instances. All right, we're coming underneath the overpass here. Hollywood Studios is out there in the distance. You might be able to see Black Spire Outpost, the rocks. As you come around the turn, you'll be able to see Tower of Terror over there. For whatever reason, this has always been a weird kind of dud zone area, so just hang tight if the stream does seem to want to drop. I appreciate everybody being here and hanging out, asking your questions. You know, whether you're on the treadmill or bike, or sitting on your couch having a cup of coffee, or maybe you haven't gotten out of bed yet. Thank you. Good old Hollywood Studios. Got everybody coming in. Probably got to get onto that rise. There's that sun coming up in the distance. I am really looking forward to that. Get a little warmer here once it starts to pop up. Diana. Morning, Josh. How much total do you think your running live streams raised for Dragon Master Foundation? Over the last couple of years, I don't really know, to be honest with you. Last year was probably our biggest. I think it was probably the most that I've raised for a single event. But it's typically anywhere from about $2,000 to $3,000. So, I mean, not a whole lot probably compared to some others, but you know, I really take pride in all of you who show up. You know, I don't think I've seen him in the live stream yet this morning, but I think Jason was one in our live streams who was a huge proponent. Like, I mean, he was really just pushing, and you know, it's nice to have such a supportive team, and that's what I would call all of you. You know, when we're doing those live stream runs, or even right now, you know, I don't have a link right now to donate to Dragon Master Foundation, but once I get a new one, I will start promoting that. But you know, I say this well, not every year, but the last few years that I've done live streams, especially for the marathon, that it is made easier tenfold having everybody here and just giving your support virtually. Not even through the monetary donations. I mean, just being here and chatting and helping to distract me during those long runs. I mean, it really, really helps so much. So, but I don't know. I mean, over the last couple of years, last year I did, what was it, like all 4 events? So maybe somewhere around like 20,000 for Dragon Master so far. Maybe a little more, maybe a little less. I'm not sure. Sailors would love to see y'all host cruise runs. Oh, hosting a cruise run. I'm not sure how that would go. That'd be a tough one. Cruise runs, maybe like out on the islands, or not necessarily all the islands, but maybe at the ports. That would be kind of cool. I know Val really wanted to do that in Alaska. He went and ran every time that we got into port. I did not, but his goal, he's got a really cool goal that when he travels, everywhere he goes, he wants to, you know, have a run put on the map so that, you know, he can say that he ran wherever, in Alaska, in Europe, Germany, you know, all those things, which is pretty cool. So I wouldn't say I'm as much of a running fanatic as he is. He just completed a 100-miler, I think, over Christmas or New Year's, which was awesome. Good for him. I'm not sure that I'll ever get to that point, but never say never, right? Oh. This is, so I did a little run while we were on the Oasis down on the running track. I think I was just going for like maybe like 3 miles. I was just trying to do a short 5K. I think my watch logged a 7.2 mile run in like 28 minutes. Which obviously, if you guys know, I mean, like, that's not how Not for me running. It's because the ship is also moving. So it kind of screwed that up. But it's my first run, I think, probably in about 2 or 3 weeks. Morning. Oh boy. Not even at 2.5 miles. Racer fan, that's a great question. Am I using a Galloway method time? I'm not. I'm just kind of winging it, you know. I said this during the marathon. If I would have trained more leading up to the race, I would have had a better idea of my pacing and where I wanted to stay. But for the most part, I have enough experience doing runs that I can keep track of where I'm at. And when I go to walk, you know, it's kind of just, it's like an internal time clock, really, that you kind of develop, I think. So, marathon, I ended up keeping an average pace of like 12 minutes, 12 and a half maybe, or something like that. So I was really, really proud of myself, because I thought I was going to be doing a little bit of a slower time, somewhere around the 13 or 14. And but it just comes with time and practice, and I'm sure you already know that. But yeah, I'm not using anything official. So my goal is, whenever I go out and run, is I always want to just try and really kind of keep that quick pace as long as I can. And then when I definitely need to stop and walk, I will do that. But I try to like set a limit for myself. Otherwise, it's really easy to just get caught in that constant walking pace, because it feels more comfortable than running a lot of times. You know, so if you don't know what I mean by that is, like, if I stop right now, you know, I'll try to set, I'll be like, okay, I'm going to walk, you know, maybe up to like this next, like this second light pole, and then I'm going to try and run. Catch my breath real quick. Otherwise, if I don't, I'll end up pretty much like walking for quite a ways. And, you know, so it's all about setting little goals, I think, sometimes, for people who are a little bit more inexperienced. Oh my gosh, look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Where did you get this? Oh my gosh. Oh, thank you. Look at this. I got a cheering squad and everything out here this morning. Yay.
Nice and cool this morning, Florida.
It is. That's what I was saying. I was like, I don't want to dwell on it too much, because I know some people up in the Northeast are like negative, but
yeah, okay.
Except for Floridians, though, it is chilly. Whew.
How have you gone so far?
We have only gone, I think, like not even 3 miles. 2.5.
We're gonna hopefully walk down for an early entry to ride.
Ooh, all right. All right. Well, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
Good luck. Have fun. That was Alan and Lisa. They're really great friends of ours from the UK. And they were our amazing tour guides when we flew into London a couple weeks ago. No, would have been 2 months ago at this point. Back in December, even though I just posted the video not that long ago. But yeah, so they went on the group cruise with us. Well, not really a group cruise, but that's what it turned into. So they were on the cruise with us, and then they had some points of the arts on Thursday, I want to say, and hung out. So we'll have a video coming out from that. And then we're going to go eat lunch with them before they head back tomorrow at Play Pig over at Disney Springs. So that was really cool. I'll tell you, if you're a spectator or your significant other is a runner and you're not sure about like getting up, or you have a friend you're down here in the parks with during one of the events and they're running, it makes a world of difference to just show up so they can see your face. It really does, especially for those long runs like the marathon. All right, we are coming back into the boardwalk. And we will have completed one lap. Drink a little bit more of this water and then gonna dump it over here in the trash. Whew. Good morning, everybody. Look at that sunrise coming up over Boardwalk. My goodness. Looks fantastic. Absolutely wonderful. Arjons, how are you? We haven't seen you guys in forever. Of course, we have literally not been in the parks forever. We were just, Taylor and I were just kind of joking that like the Epcot on Thursday, that's the first time that we've been in Epcot since the start of the new year. So, and I'll tell you what, we had a real kind of discussion about whether or not we should even keep our annual passes for Disney. I mean, really, like we really had to sit down and talk about it because so much has changed, and it's I don't know, you know, but we obviously we did keep them, but we did downgrade. So we I think at the end of the day, I think one thing that Disney is doing to at least keep some, at least local pass holders, is that threat of not being able to buy them again. So when it comes time to renew, you know, you might as well renew and get something rather than cancel and not be able to get it later. So but if y'all been watching us for a while, then you know this past year was a super big year for us. We did a lot of traveling and hoping to kind of keep that going this year, see how much steam we can carry forward with that. But you know, it's yeah, good old Disney. It'll always be here. Certainly always be changing. John, morning, Josh from cold 11 degrees, not counting wind chill in Ohio. Oh, Siri, be quiet. Siri just seems to want to chime in every so often. Yes, I know everybody up there in the Northeast, y'all are legitimately freezing. So I'm trying to not complain too much for a Floridian here. Oh, power through the slopes. Power through the slopes. Wow, look at all those people down there. We'll see them when we go down the slope here.
You know, figure out what's going on over here and what we want to do. So I will talk to you later.
I'm guessing maybe this is people waiting to go into Epcot, maybe, or must be waiting to go into Epcot. Looks like the Skyliner's open. I see people getting off.
We've been coming here like.
Cat, how's the weather? Looks nice. The weather is beautiful. Beautiful sunrise coming up over Boardwalk and Beach Club and Yacht Club. Nice golden color in the trees, blue sky. Very picturesque. Diana, you've recently traveled to different countries in Europe. Anyone that was a standout favorite? Well, obviously, I think probably the thing that sticks out the most was the river cruise, going up through Germany. So that was such an awesome highlight, and definitely going to do another one. Probably not during the Christmas markets because we've already done that. So, you know, our goal is to always try to do something a little bit different, and then hopefully maybe later on, years down the road, we'll be able to come back and do some of those favorites of ours. But London was really nice. It was really great to have Ellen and Lisa there kind of showing us around. And even for Ellen and Lisa don't live in London, so it was also kind of like a first time touring around for them, and they did such a great job showing us around. So that was really nice. But I was planning to try to get back to London in May, but that's now not going to happen. We picked up a new trip that is still internationally based. I don't think we've really talked about it at all, but so we officially have 2 trips planned that are actual international, one in May and then our group cruise in August. So we have a lot of room to really play around with as far as finding some different trips to do. Disneyland Paris was really cool. It's hard to say that we really got to visit France or obviously Paris, because Disney flew us out there, and Disney picked us up at the airport and took us directly to the hotel, and we stayed on property. We never left because we were only there for what was it, like Friday, Saturday, and then left, you know, sometime Sunday morning-ish. So, I mean, it was really cool. I've been telling everybody, if you do want to go, you really only need, I think, 2 days at Disneyland Paris. And what I would say is purchase the kind of fast pass option that they have there. It's really more of like a express pass that they have at Universal. That's what they have at Disneyland Paris. And I would say purchase that because it will really help to expedite your day. So, I mean, if you're going there for 2 days, I would say it's well worth the extra money to spend for that ticket to skip the lines over there. So, plus you're flying all the way to Paris, right? So why not? Might as well go big or go home, you know? But, let me think. All in all, this past year, our group cruise to Alaska and our river cruise, definitely by far the best. I mean, just totally awesome. Jason, that's a great question. Have we considered rebranding? Well, I think in a sense we've already done that, right? Obviously we haven't given up the handles, like at Instagram or on YouTube, but we have certainly changed the title. So, which is kind of nice because we did it, you know, I changed it on YouTube, I think just at the right time, because we, when I started posting some of the river cruise videos, there is a real big podcaster in Germany who picked us up. I mean, like, didn't pick us up, but like saw our content and mentioned it on air. And instead of saying the WDW couple, he said travel with Josh and Taylor, which was really, really cool. Because we were just getting blown up with comments from German speaking people. So, and eventually a couple of them, you know, commented in English and said, hey, just so you know, this real big podcaster over here who's like one of the biggest in the country, you know, like some of the content that you guys have been posting, and decided to mention it. So that was really cool. And I think we changed it just at the right time. I think that was a good, kind of a nice little bump there. So, you know, like I've said before, Disney content will always exist on the channel. You know, we just did a Disney wedding back in November on the Fantasy, which are the videos that are being posted right now, and we're going to end up kind of posting a self-promotion video where we take you kind of behind the scenes of doing that wedding, because obviously we want to get more weddings on cruises. It was like such a breeze. It was wonderful. Probably one of the easiest weddings to do as far as like stress and how activities are laid out and things like that. You know, it just makes for us and the bride, or for the couple, I should say, a really easygoing and not stressful day, which here on Disney property can be quite the opposite. But yeah, I mean, a lot of different things that we're going to be trying to do this year. Some of the stuff is going to be local. So we've got about a week coming up here in February where, you know, I kind of wanted to do some stuff that's like, if you're coming to Orlando, but maybe you only want to do a couple days in the theme parks, here are some other things that you can do in conjunction with that don't have to do with theme parks, right? So we'll have a few videos coming out from that. And again, I mean, the parks content will always be there. It's just not going to be as prominent as it has been in the past. So if you're looking for that content from us and that's all you want, you know, I would say probably just unsubscribe at this point, because it will be less and less as we go, and hopefully more and more real world traveling, I would say. You know, it's one thing to walk around in the Germany pavilion over at Epcot, but it's a whole nother real experience to be there in the actual country and get to walk some of the streets and really learn the history, and I think have a great appreciation for that, compared to you know, obviously what's at Epcot, but that's not really meant to be a real world representation, I don't think. So Bob Lawrence, never tell somebody to unsubscribe. I mean, it's really weird that in the community of like YouTube, that people take to heart the content that you make, right? I'm not going to mention any names, but I'm sure everybody who watches us has ought to watch one of our friends who has basically turned 180 degrees and started going in a different direction. And really, instead of just kind of having continued support, they've really like kind of bashed him about it. And you know, the thing is that like if as creators, sometimes we just have to kind of change how we do things for our own sanity and mentality. And I think sometimes some viewers, I'm not saying it's you guys, but sometimes some viewers just can't like let that go, and they take such an ownership over a channel that they really control. Always appreciate it. I'll never turn those away. But yeah, it's really kind of sad. And I feel really bad for him. I'm not gonna again mention any names. I think everybody probably knows, if you know who I'm talking about. So, you know, I think sometimes it's easier just to be like, listen, if you're here for nothing but parks content, or you're just here for dining reviews, right? Like, obviously we haven't done real dining reviews in forever, but yeah, I mean, this isn't the place for you to get that, right? Obviously, there's Nate and Jackie and all of them, good friends of ours, who I think will always be really doing a lot of the parks hardcore, you know? And it's great to see Jackie doing a lot of traveling as well, you know? But Disney will always have a place in our hearts. We'll always do stuff here, but yeah, so it's hard not to, too. When you live, I mean, we live like 15 minutes from the park, so I mean, it's hard to not have it still be part of your life in a lot of different ways. So hopefully that makes sense, right? Hopefully I wasn't just rambling nonsense. But who knows? Like I said, I haven't had a full cup of coffee and didn't eat any breakfast this morning. Up and running. So, morning. The second time we passed those ladies, they must be doing some like long stretches out and around here somewhere. Whew. Let people come and go as they like, even if you change. I don't disagree with that at all. You know, I don't disagree with that at all. It's just when those people leave really nasty comments. And, you know, it's hard. I think sometimes people forget that, like, we are people. And anytime somebody sees us in the parks, I always really do try our best to, like, stop and have a conversation with you, because I want you to know that we are real people and we're not just, you know, words for other people in this community who I think take this a little too seriously. But, you know, the comments I've seen on some of these other channels is just awful, you know, just totally awful, all because they've done a change. You know, I mean, that's fine. If you don't like it, maybe voice your opinion once and then leave it at that, you know. Diana, I've been hesitant to traveling to Europe post-COVID. Your content from European vacations has been helpful with changing my mindset. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, I don't want to go down a COVID tangent or anything, but it's a really great question to really have to think about, right? Like moving forward and how things may change. But I would say, honestly, I don't know that we'll see another kind of big thing like that. Hopefully not in the distant future. Hopefully it'll be way off. But I would say for the most part, being in London and on that river cruise, you know, everybody, I think for the most part, was doing a pretty good job of trying to, quote unquote, be clean, right? Washing their hands. The river cruise always had hand sanitizer. For not a small ship, let me tell you this, or wait, for being a small ship, they had more hand sanitizers as a ratio per person than what Oasis did. And we were just on there last month, or last week, basically. So, and the other thing is too, is that like, Europeans as a whole, I think, are a little bit more serious about these things than us as Americans. You know, I mean, I have nothing to hide here to say that, you know, we both got our vaccinations, you know, but aside from that, I didn't really take it all that seriously. I didn't want to wear a mask. I did, but I didn't want to. And most Europeans in the countries, it seemed like they took it very seriously. So I would say if you want to go, it's a good time to go. So, because if it ain't a pandemic, there might be something else that's going to destabilize over there. So, you know, get it in while you can, right? Finish out this little stretch here up the walkway. Jason, been following you guys since 2018. Thoroughly enjoyed watching you guys evolve as travelers and vloggers. Love the direction. Thank you, Jason. Huge proponent. You yourself, my friend, were quite amazing during marathon weekend, really rallying everybody. So I appreciate you. Bob, congrats on the change. Unfortunately, you have to get thicker skin when you're in the spotlight. And I don't disagree with that either. Definitely have to have some thick skin if you're going to kind of be in this game. But I will say that that's not an excuse for viewers to just basically say or do whatever they want. Nora, I love the direction the channel is going. Loving the travel videos. Look forward to all your new adventures. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh man, Eagles versus Chiefs. So I'll be honest, I'm not a huge like NFL fan. Far more college football, right? Obviously, Penn State. So Eagles or Chiefs, I mean, I think I might have to side with my friends Kate and Zach, who are not too far away from Philly. So I'm gonna go Eagles, and hopefully they pull through. I would love to be at. Kate is like a legit diehard Eagle fan, and Zach is not like sportsy at all. And I would just love to kind of like be there at their place for like a Super Bowl party, just to see the kind of interactions that go on between her and her family and friends, you know. Because I can say I've never been to like a real, I mean, we've had Super Bowl parties that we've gone to, but like most of the time it's like nobody really cares who's playing. And it's really just more of like being there to watch commercials and socialize and hang out. I'm pretty sure if we were at Kate's place, it would be like all out, like we're here, Eagles fans, you know, I mean, like really, really like kind of crazy stuff. So that's one thing that I would love to be at. Todd, where did you park to be able to run there? So I parked at the Boardwalk today. Our friends Alan and Lisa are staying over at Boardwalk. So I just let them know at the gate that I was coming in to visit them, and gave them their room number. Otherwise, if you can't park at the resorts, what I've done before is normally I'll park at Swan and Dolphin, which is like $20 to park to do the runs. Dave and Lynn, come to Scotland on your travels. It is definitely in the works. So definitely in the works. More than likely, will hopefully be this year. Even though we've kind of like knocked the UK off on kind of our places to visit. London was really cool, but obviously there's a lot more to the UK and obviously to Scotland, up in the north to visit and see. So it is, it's on the books. I can tell you that. So along with a few other things that we've got working, and we're trying to figure out how best to kind of approach some of those things. Y'all, let's talk about, have you guys seen Frontier Airlines? What's it, like $300 for a all you can fly for the summertime? Don't do it. Don't do it. I think you'll regret it. I've flown Frontier before. We didn't have any problems, but man, ever since coming out of COVID, Spirit and Frontier, it's like when you see those TikTok videos, it's usually about them. And I can only imagine that a $300 all-you-can-fly summer pass is probably not going to help that situation whatsoever. But I thought that was really interesting. So for us, when we start like looking at travel stuff and what we're going to do and where we're going to go, really the first thing that I do is I look at flights and try to gauge pricing on those flights. I'm going to try to find some cheaper flights rather than is a good tip. And if you're willing to kind of do your own planning, figure out your flights first rather than getting a destination set in your head, because it kind of stinks sometimes if you, like, you're set on maybe going to London, but the flights to get there for the time that you want to go are like $1,200 each way. I've seen them that high before, right? So kind of look at flights and gauge cheaper flights and where they're going, and then start kind of thinking about what you could do there, rather than having a destination stuck in your head and then paying crazy amounts for airline tickets. So I think that would be a good tip that I would offer everybody coming from owning a travel agency and working with people to try and get a lower price, so to speak. Whew. Oh my gosh, who said OSU? No, John, nobody's Ohio State fans here. Dave, Edinburgh in August during the Fringe Festival is a must-do. Well, don't think that we'd be able to make that happen because we'll be on our Mediterranean group cruise in August, but I mean, who knows? We'll keep it in mind. Cat Southwest, who's my favorite, has been a mess too. It's unfortunate because we're in the same boat. When we used to live up in Pennsylvania and we'd fly down, we almost always flew with Southwest because 2 free bags, and as long as you check in pretty quickly, I say pretty quickly, but as long as you check in right when it's time to check in, you can usually get a pretty decent boarding group and kind of get the seats wherever you want on the plane. And now, they've had so many problems. We've been flying almost exclusively, which is not obviously in any way an ad or promo for said airlines, but we've just been really enjoying the service and everything, which has been Turkish Airways and Delta, which is also Virgin, and something else. Who else? Air France. So, but Turkish Airways, when we flew from Miami to Switzerland for that river cruise, was really great. The seats were extremely comfortable. The little bag thing that they give you was nice. The food was good. So we really enjoyed that, and I think we'll be certainly flying Turkish Airways more. The only issue is that every single flight that they have has to make a connection back into Istanbul. So you won't ever really get a direct flight unless you're going to Istanbul. But they're reasonably priced, I think. I think we got our flights from Miami to Switzerland for about $400 a person, maybe $450. So, and that was with us being able to check our bags and pick our own seats. We were still in not business class, sorry, coach. But all the same, it was, I think, pretty good airline. And then, of course, Delta has been great as well for us. So, John, our families are not friends of budget airlines. I mean, listen, it's there, and if something's going on, it's actually a really great option if you need to get somewhere quickly. A lot of times they still have seats available. But I mean, really just for maybe short flights, nothing really long, I think it does serve a purpose sometimes for things, right? Like if maybe a family member is sick or something like that, you need to get back quickly. You tend to have at least an option to get on an airline for sometimes under $100, not need to take a checked bag or anything like that. But John, like United, we've never flown United before, so we might end up flying them here soon because, you know, with doing more international travel, they're definitely up on the list of airlines. But we've been really, like I said, enjoying Delta and Turkish. So we already have another flight booked on Turkish Airways. Oh, but I can't wait to share with you guys. So for our group cruise in August, which is on Norwegian, anybody out there who's been thinking it might be a little late to join our Mediterranean group cruise, but we do have another one next July 2024 on the Prima, which I think is probably one of the best new cruise ships out there of all the cruise lines. And those rooms include buy one get one airfare. And what I mean, well, I kind of got off a tangent there, but our med trip with Norwegian, we are doing the airfare with Norwegian. So Norwegian Cruise Line, not Norwegian Air, Norwegian Cruise Line. So I'm kind of excited to share that experience and how it works. And, you know, the nice thing is that if something happens, Norwegian Cruise Line is on the hook to get us on the ship, no matter what, right? So I'm excited to do that, even if it goes poorly. Oh, there's that sun. It's bright. We're only at 5.5. But it is warming up. Cat, yes. That's on, yeah, Prima for Iceland. So we are, so for that group cruise, which, listen, you know, if you want to start getting out and traveling a little bit more, a group cruise is a really great way to do it. We have a really great group of people, super friendly. We know how to have a good time. You know, and you can do as much or as little as you'd like with the group. But I think it's a great way to, you know, if you're kind of skeptical stepping out of the U.S. onto some foreign soil, right? Nice to do it in numbers. So in a group, great time to do it, great way to do it. And we are really, really looking forward to that cruise. So it's actually out of Iceland, and it'll sail up into Norway, and then we're going to come back south and dock, I believe, in like maybe Southampton or something like that. They call it London, but it's kind of like Port Canaveral. They call Port Canaveral like Orlando, which obviously is not the case. But yeah, so a lot of fun. Chance to see lots of whales. And if you can make it work, I think a lot of us are probably going to be going into Iceland a few days before to experience a little bit of Iceland as well. So exciting, really exciting. Kat, so great question. How does the BOGO airfare work? So all the cabins have BOGO attached to it. So all I do is put in where you're flying from and where you're returning to. And Norwegian Cruise Line will handle the rest. So they did say that you can have up to 2 connections, but no more than that. And they'll most likely be economy. But you can always upgrade with the airline. That's what they told me after the tickets are booked and stuff like that. So Power through, power through. I think we're gonna skip going down towards Epcot today, or for this last little leg. We're just gonna keep making our way back down and around. Pretty sure once we get around here, we should be right at about 10K. Do 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 do. Da 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 dee. Caitlin, come on, group cruise, yes. So, Caitlin actually, we met Caitlin and her husband for the first time on the Ovation of the Seas. They joined our group cruise to Alaska, and I mean, they obviously had a decent time because they joined us on the Oasis last week with me and my family, and with Alan and Lisa and our friends Chris and Sarah. And boy, oh boy, Caitlin, did we have a great time on that Circle excursion or what? I can't wait to kind of post the video from that. I think my parents might be a little bit embarrassed, but boy, oh boy, that was a good time. Christy, good morning. We are just about to be wrapping up here on our 10K run. I think we're sitting almost right there. Yeah, it was a lot of fun, and excited to share it. I made the joke while we were with Alan and Lisa in Festival of the Arts that that Festival of the Arts video will probably get posted after Festival of the Arts is ended, just because I got to get through the Fantasy and the Oasis cruise videos. But just a really fun time, and like I said, I mean, I never would have imagined that when we kind of started our channel, which was really about creating tips and tricks at the parks, you know, that it would turn into something like this. And we have really created some really true and awesome friends, I think, from these group trips. And you know, it's not like we don't only just see them when we're on the cruises, but also when they come down to visit, because a lot of them are still Disney fans and come down to the parks. And so when they're down here, we try to meet up and hang out and you know, create some also really great memories together. Ooh, Christy, trying to pump yourself up for a little half marathon run in 20 degrees. Hey, how are you? I don't know that I can really help you with that, because I definitely would probably not be out in 20 degrees running. That's a little much. That is a little much. Joey, are folks doing this at home on the treadmills? They might be. This is, I know I kind of like used the wrong thumbnail, but I made the live stream last night and I didn't really have, I had time. I just was really lazy. And I used the thumbnail from the marathon weekend. So, but I will say that, you know, I do these live streams running. Well, not running, but you know what I mean. What I'm trying to say here. Everybody that's been on here before, but, you know, I do these hopefully as an inspiration for everybody out there who is thinking about doing a 10K or a half marathon or even a full marathon or a 5K event. I do them hopefully as inspiration for you guys to get out and run and push yourselves a little bit further than maybe you did the day before or on your last run, and hopefully give you guys some confidence. And in turn, it actually really does help me as well. So I think one of the, selfishly, I think one of the best things I've always really enjoyed is when I am doing those longer runs, like the half marathon or the marathon, and to hear or read that some of you out there are on your bikes or on the treadmill and kind of tagging along is a really great feeling. Makes me feel like I'm not alone among the thousands of other people that are running. But so whew, it is going to be a beautiful day here in Florida. So I apologize to everybody in the north who's having that Icelandic tundra vortex, whatever they're calling those things now. That's just swirling cold air over you. But we are all finished up with our run. And I've said this before, but I really appreciate everybody who comes out and hangs out during the live stream. I'll be honest with you. I definitely did not want to get up this morning and come out and run, especially with it being in the 50s here for us Floridians. That's kind of cold weather. So, I had an excuse to not do it because I didn't want to be chilly to start, but I'm pretty comfortable now after we've finished with the sun up. So I appreciate you guys being here because it helps me as well, right? I do these live streams in a sense selfishly to make sure that I get up and run. And it helps when I have all of you guys here and, asking questions and chatting and, like I've said before, distracting. So, finishing up here at the Boardwalk. So today we're going to be heading out to Disney Springs with our friends Alan and Lisa. So if you have been watching the live stream from the beginning, they are the ones who came out with the sign, which was just awesome, and the bottle of water. So they're from the UK and really great friends of ours. We're going to go meet up with them for lunch one last time before they head back on their flight tomorrow back to the UK. So, boy, oh boy, let's see, what else do we have coming up? What do we have coming up? Oh, man. We don't actually have any big plans this week, or actually even this month. I'm going to try to do some local stuff, which I think will be really cool. You might enjoy it. Maybe you won't. I don't know. I know we're going to enjoy it, so we're going to try and share those experiences with all of you as some things that you can do in Florida besides going to the theme parks. And we've got Festival of the Arts coming out. We're going to be going to a Moonlight Magic event next week with some friends of ours who invited us to go because we are not DVC members anymore. We got rid of our contract. And yeah, I don't know. Be on the lookout. We've got a couple more Disney Fantasy videos coming out. Everybody who's been really wanting to have a taste of the dining reviews, we'll have 2 dining reviews coming out from that here in the next week or so. And then the Oasis cruise and some Disney Park stuff, followed by some local Florida stuff. So, and hopefully some more live stream runs. So, as I'll be done in Walt Disney World in mid-April, I should have booked for now. I'm over this winter. I hear you. That's why we moved to Florida. That is why the sidewalk. Stairs are closed off up here. I wonder if it's like a wedding or something. Special event, probably. But, all right, guys. Well, I'm going to sign off. And we are going to see you all in the next one. So, thank you guys, and we'll see you soon. Ending the video.